What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Big Bro and Little Sis Reacts. I'm Tamaj, this is Taya.
Hi.
And today we're reacting to The Flash, Season 6, Episode 2, A Flash of Lightning. Last episode, they rescued the guy who creates black holes. They have him in a chamber to keep him from doing that anymore.
She's supposed to be in there for a month, basically.
While Iris and Barry are still mourning Nora, Joe had accidentally threw away his suit and Iris wanted it back. Barry was able to retrieve that from the black hole.
Thank God.
Caitlin is giving Killer
Frost a break, a vacation to just her.
To live a life, to start a life. Caitlin says she doesn't mind driving back seat for a while so Killer Frost can get a life. That sounded rude. Get a life. So she can start a life. Caitlin's friend, the scientist, was upset about his mom not fighting her cancer, I think it was, and he wants to. The only way to cure that is to use the dark matter to become a metahuman, and he did that to himself. And Caitlin didn't want to help him.
Into something crazy.
Yeah. And there were also Godspeed. There were fake Godspeeds going around.
Every last one of them they stopped was a fake, and they spoke this weird like baby language basically.
And one of the most important parts is the Monitor showed up, and he said that Barry has to die in a few weeks basically, and that there was nothing he can do to avoid it, and Barry and Iris are not accepting that. So Barry said, I'm going to go to the future and see what happens and see what I can do about this. So that's what we're going to get into, and that's what I'm excited to see.
I hope he doesn't
the
do
future.
anything.
I love time travel. I love multiple Earths. I love everything. Craziness.
I love time travel more than multiple Earths.
Yeah. I like different Earths.
Different characters and how they could be and should.
Oh, so you do. You like traveling through Earth.
But I like time travel as well to see how much we advance and how much we have advanced.
Well, we're opposite people, but let's see what we get.
Just tell me what I can do. The Flash must die.
We did not accept that. It's kind of.
The newspaper for so many years.
It's kind of like season 3 when Iris thought she was gonna die.
Yes,
But they avoided that, so.
First it felt like a guy.
They avoided that thanks to a loss of life.
Things were.
That was a sacrifice. Hopefully we can avoid Barry's death.
It became a sword hanging over my head. Part of me always felt like if I vanish, whatever crisis is coming,
I want to vanish right.
maybe I was still out there somewhere.
You can't be grabbing the case, sir.
I will get the rest of the money, I promise. Too late.
Yeah, too late for you.
It's garbage.
Frost, it's not all that bad.
There are used tissues on this. Okay? And this is just a plunger. Oh my god, look at the brush strokes on this one. Alright, photographer's afraid to get a shot in focus.
Those are actually mine.
And not all winners.
She did not.
Look, I can take a note. But if this is how Caitlin's other half is gonna act, maybe she should skip my next show.
No suit? Or did he put a suit on? No suit.
Oh, I think he has another shirt.
Oh, yeah, probably.
December 1st, 2019.
Oh, they go inside.
Disruption barrier detected.
Disruption barrier.
Ow.
The Earth was destroyed at that point. That's the same color that was in Arrow when Earth 1 must get destroyed, and that's why there's no future.
Your wound is still not healing.
My readings indicate you were exposed to an extra-universal material that destroys positive matter on contact. A substance known as antimatter.
Antimatter, that's new.
So all of this stuff clogging up the speed force. Gideon, how do I get past it?
Not without additional assistance. Fortunately, there's an expert in the field, Dr. J. Garrick, formerly known as the Flash of Earth 3.
I thought he was from Earth 2.
Or maybe he traveled to
Maybe I forgot.
Or
Oh, wait.
lived in Earth,
Good to see you again, Barry.
Jay told me he's a doppelganger of your late father. Do I remind you of anyone from your Earth?
Someone very special. Ain't she? I never thought
You
I'd
can't
settle
say it,
down,
though.
Why?
but I needed a neurological
Cecile got the suit on, so I wonder if he gets his powers back.
Biometrics are crashing.
also picking up temporal energy readings. His mind has broken past the barrier. It's not just a new timeline he's found. It's billions of them, and Barry's mind is experiencing them all. In order for billions to survive this coming crisis, Flash must die.
You have to
Like a
look up
fast
too.
fluttering meteor.
What's that song called?
A fast flying cloud. A flash of the lightning. A break of the wave. He passes from life to his rest in the grave.
That's not how you look him up.
Barry,
Wasn't it a Lady Gaga song?
Yes.
you're with us. William Knox.
Lady Gaga usually works for me.
That's right. You were right. We both were right.
I saw billions of possible futures. Billions of deaths.
Look at his face. Most UV light gets absorbed by the ozone layer. This was entirely undiluted. If it wasn't for his powers, that sunburn would have killed him.
So put some aloe on it.
Okay. Can I just talk to Caitlin for a minute, please?
She said,
Wasn't she supposed to get a meta
What would
dampener?
we do about this?
Don't even-
Part of getting
Even
bail?
though UV rays have
Yeah.
shorter wavelengths than radio waves, they're all part of the same electromagnetic spectrum.
Get a ping that you'd escaped from your medicuffs, and we find you in the location of the
Oh,
dead
shit.
state's witness. If you're a reporter, how's this story play out?
I didn't kill him. Or the driver. I was trying to find out who did it, I swear.
You realize how much trouble you can get in, right? You let Allegra out of jail for an inexplicable reason, and now there's another murder.
But my powers are telling
Two
me.
people are dead, Cecile.
You know this kid. You know her rap sheet. It's petty crimes, robberies. It's not double homicide. That doesn't even add up.
I haven't known this woman in a long time, and the evidence adds up. We need to recognize that, unlike facts, feelings can be fallible.
Except when it's your gut.
I've never said that.
You didn't have to. That is a scared kid with no one to stand up for her. The public defender's office is overworked and underpaid. Joe.
Your job is to prosecute the cases that we bring to you using the evidence. I mean, it's like you don't even want to be the DA.
Are you telling me I have to choose between using my powers and doing my job?
That is not what I just said.
It's what you're feeling.
How was the serious conversation, right?
It was risky to
That
move
was
me
good,
here, but
man.
we needed to see
I
you,
haven't got much thoughts on that.
which we understand.
Yeah.
Your husband stared at me that same way when we first met.
I'm sorry. You look just like Barry's mother.
Oh, I told her. Yeah.
Well,
Get Kara and Oliver and everybody. We recreate an antimatter dampener. I don't care. Just find a way.
I saw you. Caitlin. I saw everyone die. The only timeline where you all survived was if I died.
No, that's not the future.
I saw a billion futures, Iris.
Okay, well, what about the billion in first or billion in second? We control our destiny. We can change the timeline for the better.
Maybe this is the reason I was given powers. To save everyone.
You said this morning that you weren't giving up yet.
I have to accept this. We both did.
nothing while you sit here and wait to die?
This is so sad.
This isn't you. Barry, I know, would never stop running.
All these deep conversations, I ain't even getting time to think. It's so emotional.
I know.
I have to make a sacrifice. But at the same time, I can't help but feeling like it means I'm giving up.
Yeah, man. Our badges, your emblem, they're symbols of the strength that we're charged with to get back out there. And we don't make the choice to die. We would never choose to do that. But when we hear the call of duty, we're willing to make that sacrifice.
I love his character.
That's
I
not
feel
giving up,
like
baby.
it's just
That's what you
such
call resilience.
a good role that nobody else could play.
And I know you'd have plenty of that.
Sorry, I was listening to the conversation. I heard you. Joe's my favorite character in the show. Anyway.
Hey, Frosty.
You already know that.
Birthday
But,
Frosty.
Joe always has the right words to say, and that's why I love him.
Calling all White Walkers. You know what, Bracket?
Hey, I was listening to that.
Maybe you should be listening to Chester's molecular monitoring system so he doesn't, turn back into a black hole.
Relax, okay?
Is that?
No, stop. No.
She was drawing.
Mm-hmm.
She secretly likes killing. I love it.
Are you trying?
No,
You were trying.
no, because drawing is for losers.
Looks like you were drawing.
I
It's
want
really
Claire
hard,
Frost.
okay?
This is.
I was trying to draw this. I've been working on it forever, and it's not getting any better. That's
Is this why you've been all cranky pants since Camilla's show?
Yeah.
This is the Flash I love, that plays with your emotions, that go from these deep scenes to a scene that can make you just laugh and smile. They're just playing with our emotions.
Steven's still
It's a
on
good
his way.
episode. I love it. Come on, Joe. I know it ain't take you that long to go. You didn't have to run directly into it. What is this?
That was a little unnecessary.
I know you heal fast, but
Well, you bought all this stuff. I mean, how'd you pay for it?
With Katie's credit cards. Oh.
Maybe our next life lesson will be in personal finance.
who's credit cards?
I've got one more piece to add to the bunch. I'm a very daring young talent.
Doing everything I can to help the city as the district attorney.
You're gonna become a
The
defense
justice
attorney.
system doesn't always work for metas. Which is why I want to become a defense attorney for metahumans. I know you can tell me that I'm crazy and we were not on the same page about Allegra today.
No, that's not crazy. That is incredible.
Oh, Cecile found her calling. Okay.
You keep being the hero we know you are.
Oh. You ready?
He needed that moment.
Yeah, he did.
Whatever we do next, let's make it count.
We can start by preparing the team for this crisis. Maybe even a world without the Flash.
It's time to tell
So
them.
when we tell him,
I'm very interested in how see how they tell.
Beginning biopsy examination on patient
I forgot all
1A,
about
Mitch Romero, male, 40s. Prior to death.
He should be working with Lena.
Defenders.
He has powers too.
If he gave him that, yeah, he gave him that metahuman. Well, he gave him the dark matter, which gave him. Ooh, I'm sorry. Ooh. I wouldn't even call them powers. What he has is.
This disgusting.
Not good. And if he keeps giving people that, he's gonna infect infect them with something that they can't control.
And that's not gonna be a good thing.
No. But this episode was really good.
Emotionally wise.
Very emotional. Some very good scenes, which is why we were a little more quieter than normally.
Yes.
Because we had to, listen to the dialogue and process what's going on. Because it's just crazy. I really can't imagine a flashless show. Obviously, they're gonna have some type of flash. I know Wally's coming back, but would they really get rid of Grant? Get rid of his flash? Is that something they can do? I mean, I already predicted. I feel like we're gonna get just a different version of Barry at some point.
Or maybe a different. Sorry.
You can go into it.
Or maybe a different version. He's gonna just come and sacrifice himself instead of Barry having to sacrifice himself. Or maybe this is why Wally's being called back.
Who knows what's going on? This crisis is gonna be crazy. Wow. So yeah, I wonder how the rest of the team is gonna take the news.
React to this.
I mean, the only ones that have powers are Killer Frost and Ralph. I mean, so in a flashless world, because Cisco's gave his up, but I mean, in a flash world, he had the vibe suit on, so maybe he does get his powers back. So I don't know. It's not gonna play out how we think. I mean, they've changed the timeline so much, and there's gonna be factors that we can't see yet. Yeah, there's gonna be factors that we can't see yet. So there's a lot that's gonna have to play out over the season that can change these events. I mean, like the shows have shown us, nothing's set in stone. We've seen Iris prevent her death. We've seen Felicity at the end of season 7 of Arrow was able to go and see Oliver at somehow, some way. She was able to reunite with him off screen. So the Flash, it says vanishes in crisis. It doesn't say killed necessarily. So maybe he and Oliver go to the same place. Yeah. Maybe somebody else decides to sacrifice themselves in place of Barry, and Barry does get to stay. There's so much, like similar to the deal Oliver made to save Kara and Barry in the first place. Maybe somebody else sacrifices himself. There's so many factors we don't know how it's gonna play out.
Right.
So,
or maybe they never, maybe Barry never actually died. Maybe he just teleports to a different Earth. Maybe it looks like he dies.
He could travel, but he would travel back. Unless, I don't know, we don't know what could happen. I mean,
right.
So we're just going to have to see how it plays out. Joe had a really good speech. I mean, you did commit to this role of helping people. So, I mean, you got to, I don't want to call it a consequence, but you got to do with the consequences of it too. And you have to remember what you are always willing to sacrifice when you do this. There's always a risk with something. And you have to be willing to take that risk. I know it's hard knowing the future. Like, it's different if I'm gonna die. Like, if I'm already in the moment, I'm gonna die. It's different. But if I know I'm gonna die, that that day's coming. Your time's limited. What you do with that time, every moment counts. Those are your last moments. And it's only a few weeks away, so he knows. Like, wow, I don't really have much long. This is my wife. I mean, did they even start making Nora yet? I mean, come on, like. Everything we need, I don't know. Because does that mean we're going to get a pregnant Iris soon? Because Nora has to be created before he's killed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot to process. Like, Killer Frost is starting her life, so we didn't get to see Caitlin this episode. So it was cool just to see Killer Frost. I want evil Killer Frost. I want her. She drew the icicle holding up the little icicle spear. So
maybe she could draw that, but she doesn't have to be it.
I'm holding out hope.
And I think that's when he realized that he doesn't have much time left, when they were putting up those pictures and stuff, and he was just like, and then it started to fade, and it's just like, wow, this might be one of my last memories.
It is. Like I said, every moment counts. Everybody had a good role in this episode. Cecile kind of found her new calling. She was able to save somebody, and they kept that character around, so she's interning.
I love her character.
We'll see what they do with that.
Sorry, I'm so tired.
Me too. So we'll see what they do with that. And Ralph was helping Iris be a detective, and she's reporting, and you know, all that stuff, all the shebang that goes with that. Joe has some really powerful scenes this episode, talking some sense into people. I mean, other than him and Cecile was right in her argument, though. I mean, but I get Joe as a chief; he has to do his job. But that's part of the thing that's wrong with the justice system. They rather just go with what the evidence says is right versus find out what's actually right. So I respect Cecile for that.
Yeah.
And
I love Cecile, period.
yeah, she's a great addition to the show. But it was good that Barry got to see his mom of Earth.
Her actor in general.
Yeah. And so we see Earth 1 does disappear at some point in December. Well, I mean, he saw billions of deaths, but I know that was across the multiverse, but we specifically got to see Earth 1. And so I'm guessing that barrier, I'm guessing there's really nothing past that. That's why it was there, that anti-energy, because at that point the Earth is being destroyed, so there's no timeline. The timeline's gone there, so that's why he was probably getting hurt.
I have like 4 favorite moments during this episode. One was where Cecile and Joe were like just having that conversation about what you said, like what was wrong with the justice system and that her gut feeling and stuff. Another one was that little drawing with Caitlin and stuff. And one, what's his name? Barry's mom from Earth 2. And Iris looked at her and she was like, you know, Barry gave me that same stare. Like, what is this? Like, what does this mean? Like, why are you staring at me like that? And I think she's just like, wow, like, what do you mean? Did look like Barry's mom? Like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, it's just a shocker to her. And
she probably wasn't expecting it to be that much of an important figure. He said it was someone special, but she probably didn't think that.
Maybe like a friend or something, but like, you know, his mother. And I had more, but that's just what I wanted to say.
Those were very powerful scenes. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly. All the conversation. The dialogue was really great, and the pacing was really good.
Yes.
Like the story, they had so many storylines kind of going forward, and we're getting this little setting up the villain. I know he's going to be a small villain for this part of the season, whatever. But I like how they're doing it. I like the new showrunner. He's doing pretty well for me. I got the old season 1, season 2 vibe of Flash, even season 3 from the show. All the emotions, from emotion to humor, you know, and then we got into the plot, and there was great character development. So I'm really loving it. So far, so I'm loving this season.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is that it? Okay, well, let us know what you guys thought in the comments.
And make sure you go check our
other videos should be posted for this week. We got episodes 2 of Supergirl, Batwoman, Arrow, Black Lightning, Walking Dead.
Batwoman.
Yeah, I think I said that already. Yeah, so go and check all that out, and be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And we'll be back.
See y'all.
Bye.